metrics a reporting system. And so it's going to let you do whatever the hell you want. Like if you
and there's reasons for that. And I get it. There are reasons for that.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
For a regulatory standpoint, like, and you know, it's easy to catch red flags. And if people are truly managing their inventory control, and if that's like truly happening, that's a very easy quote unquote red flag to handle.
Right.
But a lot of problems, very immature industry. We don't have the tools like you've seen, like you've came from PayPal, you mentioned Upwork, you also came from Netflix. Like, what are some of those more mature technology companies? What are those strategies that you're trying to implement that you've learned from those larger companies?
Well, the biggest thing is, I'm going to throw a word out there that means many different things to many different people, but platform. So my experience, like I said, I've been on engineering product, and I've been on the UI side of the house all the way back to the data space and back and forth. But one of the things that I tend to end up doing, and at least the last 4 places I've worked, is either building myself or leading the team to build platforms. And by that, I mean is reusable components. So, for instance, PayPal. They have, and I think you talked to my co-founder, they have almost 2,000 compliance and risk experts.
Wow.
That is just, well, understand they're in hundreds of countries, like countries you've never heard of. And then and the rules and regulations and the risks are all different in every single one of them, never mind local jurisdictions. But that number doesn't even include the product and engineering teams that are dedicated to building these platforms out. But these are sophisticated compliance and risk platforms that do all sorts of modeling, et cetera, that these companies build. I mean, PayPal does that, but they're able. I mean, I've worked at PayPal, but even prior to that, I know enough about them that they are secure, and that's a company I trust. And they can't be non-compliant, and they can't even acquire a company that can't fit on their rails. And the same with Netflix. They have platform teams. At Oda, I say Upwork because the history is Oda's Elance merged became Upwork. So when I was there, I started building the UI platform team. It was me and one engineer. I had my first engineer, and when I left, we had a platform team for the back end, the middle tier. Basically, I had a huge team that was distributed all over the world. And even the last company I worked at Tenable, which is a public cybersecurity company. Same thing, I was building platforms from all the way from integration layer all the way to the UI component, UI framework and components, localization, all of it. And so that our teams, our product teams or feature teams, if you will, could just either boot up a new feature or even a new product based on these components. They come as building blocks or Legos. Pull this in and I can build a business app, and it's that whole API endpoint. So you're building out this interesting feature and then just hitting these services. Of course, they did have to build some of their backend for whatever that new product was, but all the common core stuff, the authentication, the compliance, the localization, all of the UI components, all the stuff that can be reused should be reused. And that's where the compliance, we look at compliance, and you can't, in any industry, but in cannabis, it's a commodity. It is a utility, and everybody needs it. And everybody's trying to build it and playing whack-a-mole, and really just one layer that everyone can plug into and build out and just really push this whole industry forward.